Hello, this is just going to be a tip of the day, just a quick video on equipment. I had several questions come up to me recently about the different type of equipment I use, what's better for high notes, and us trumpet players, we get into this this lifelong debate on what mouthpiece is better, what trumpet is better, what bore size is better. It ends up turning into like a Ford Chevy kind of a thing. And if you look at some of the best players in the world, they all play on different equipment. Some shallow mouthpiece, deep mouthpieces, big bore trumpets, small bore trumpets. It really comes down to the sound that you want. All right. So really, when you're dealing with a trumpet sound, you want the biggest, fullest trumpet sound you can make. Don't buy a piece of equipment that causes you to cheat. Do the work. Anybody can learn how to play high notes or fast notes, working on Clark's studies or the Arban's book, but it takes work. You've got to get in there and actually do it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about mouthpieces and trumpets just for a couple minutes. And the horn I'm playing on now is a 462 bore. It's the Bach commercial. I love it. In my lead trumpet career, I've gone all the way down from 445 bore, the Bobby Shoes type size horns, all the way up to Schilke X4. I played for years, and that's a 470 bore. I played a lot of 470 bores. One of the videos I have on here, me playing Maria, was on a 464 Benj 3X. I played on 460 bores. It just depends on the mouthpiece trumpet combination and the sound that you want. So don't always buy a horn or a mouthpiece based on how many high notes you can play with it. Do the work. This particular mouthpiece I'm playing on right here is a Marcinkiewicz Claude Gordon, the number 3. So it's really similar to like a 3C, maybe a little bit deeper, but it's got a conical shaped cup, a little bit wider. But I play on Schilke, I can play on Bach, anything else. So I'm going to give you just a little demonstration on the different types of sounds or what you can do on different mouthpieces. It really comes down to the technique that we talked about in my last video, is just controlling that air, making sure your aperture is not too wide, not too pinched, that the muscles on the corner here are tight, and that the throat is relaxed, and you have a lot of compression down here. If you can do that, you can develop your range on any mouthpiece. Okay, so I'm just going to play a quick scale on this, and then I'm going to do it on a couple different mouthpieces and show you that it's really not the mouthpiece itself, as opposed to what you do with it and how much time you put into that mouthpiece. So low C up to high C, and then just to high G. So this mouthpiece is pretty comfortable, but I stay pretty close to around a 3C shape, depending on the sound that I want to get. There's different mouthpieces that give me a little bit more edge. If I'm doing some lead work, Latin work, if I'm doing some more church or symphonic or something where I don't need to cut as much, I'll go to something with a bigger back bore. So you really need the tool for the job. Bobby Shoe talks about this a lot, getting the right tool for the job. So here is another one. Looks just exactly the same, but this is the Marcinkiewicz Claude Gordon. It's his personal with a 20 throat, and it's a nice deep throat, or a deep cup, but it's more conical. So it's close to like a 1 1/4 C, but it's got more of a V cup than it does. But it's a nice deep mouthpiece with a 20 throat. Same thing. So a little bit bigger sound, not quite the lead sound that you want, but the A just comes out really pretty easy. We'll try this is one of the new Artisan Bach 3Cs, one of the new ones. I actually like it better than all the old Bachs. This was built off of the original New York Mount Vernon Bach 3Cs. So new one's out today. So if you're a 3C player, try the new Artisan Bach 3Cs. I really like them. Okay. Now here's kind of the one I played on for a long time. Is just an old standard Bach 1 1/4 C. Okay, It's got the big old deep bowl cup. Just this is an old one. It's probably 30, 40 years old. So much wider rim. Arturo plays on one similar, not designed to be a lead trumpet mouthpiece by any means, but guys can play on it. Like, he can do it just fine. And so if you work on whatever mouthpiece you're on, you'll be able to do it. So. There's a Bach 1 1/4 C. So when people ask about different mouthpieces, I'll help them get to the gear that actually is more comfortable for them, but I'm not going to get them to gear that actually makes them play higher. All right. Then we got a custom Schilke, pretty shallow mouthpiece here. I'm not that great with shallow mouthpieces. My chops are not incredibly big, but they're not small either, and so I push a little forward with my chops. But it's pretty shallow here. So a little bit small for me. I personally like the Marcinkiewicz, what is that, the CG3, deep enough where you can still have a bigger sound. Here's I think this is a Kelly mouthpiece, one of these clear plastic ones. It's their version of a 3C. It's a little odd, but it's kind of got a unique sound to it. Sometimes if I want to play something a little more mellow or blending, I'll use this. Bobby Shue uses plastic mouthpieces just for that reason. So it looks weird. They're cheap. They're like $5 or $8 a piece. Well, there you have it. So here's a whole array of mouthpieces here. I just have the one trumpet here, but it doesn't matter whether it's a 470 bore or it's a 445 bore. If you utilize the air properly, and if you understand how the chops work, dropping the back of that tongue down like we talked about in the last video, building the corner muscles here so it's solid, but keeping this loose, keeping that jaw open about 1/4 inch, and then dropping the back of that tongue down slightly. It doesn't really matter what you play on. You're going to be able to play on anything, really. It just comes down to what you're more comfortable with, and then what you're going to feel comfortable with after 2 hours of playing in a gig. So anyways, I hope this video helps as the tip of the day. I'll post a few other ones, and if you use another technique, great, and it works for you, fantastic. These are just techniques that work for me, that were taught to me by some great players, and I just hope to pass those on to everybody on this page. So if you have any questions, you can message me, and we'll see you out there. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.